Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. Let's do an episode of old school rules. We haven't done that in a while. Old school rules, rules from the old school. All us gray-haired guys, remember, you young boys don't know shit. You're following a whole new set of rules. So I've done probably 5 or 7 of these videos talking about different old school rules, and let's do another one. You never kick a man when he's down. That's an old school rule. A rule we used to follow. Got something in my throat. In a fight, fist fight, we used to follow the rules of boxing. Maybe you guys, when you fought, you jump on the ground and start wrestling around and dirty yourself up. Not us. Growing up in an urban setting around poor people, and I was poor, I lived in the projects, the way that you fight in the projects is you box. We always boxed. We practiced boxing. We slap boxed. Sometimes a slap boxing match turned into a real boxing match. But we followed the rules of traditional boxing, which are that if somebody gets knocked down for whatever reason, you don't wrestle. You don't jump on him, you don't go kick him. You stand there, like in a boxing match, and you wait for him to get up. And when he gets up, you go over there again and you guys go at it again. That was the traditional rules. That was the old school rule for fighting, for fist fights, for combat. A loser, a sucker, would run in and kick a guy or jump on top of a guy and start punching him when he's down. And if anybody else was around there that was a real deal motherfucker that knew the old school rules, were taught by their father or whatever, you jump in and be like, no, you can't do that. It's against the rules. You can't. You have to let him get up. And people will be mad at you, and you'll be a punk, and you might walk away thinking, I stomped that guy's face in. You're not cool. Nobody's gonna like you. You're a jerk, because you kicked a guy when he's down. It's not right. It's not how you fight. You have to give him a fair chance. He has to have a fair chance to defend himself. But I don't think people fight like that anymore. I don't think people are holding on to that value anymore. A value like that bleeds over into non-physical combat as well. You may best a person in a debate. What if you made someone cry? Have you ever made someone cry? I've made people cry. It's not a good feeling. Some of my regrets involve making people cry that probably I should have held back a little. And when you've gotten somebody to a point when they're in that emotional state and they're crying, it's like they're down. And you don't really have a right to keep hitting them at that point. We see this on the internet. And so many people are playing Captain Hindsight, trying to tell motherfuckers what they should have done. And some people do this in a really nasty way, and it's really just piling on to someone's misery, making things worse. Somebody's already underground. They're already buried by life, and all you're doing is just stamping on their grave, pissing on their grave with your stupid little comments. And some people are really mean and vicious, especially with those that they don't know. So you may have a favorite celebrity or one that you hate, your favorite celebrity to hate, right? Maybe it's LeBron James or whoever you hate the most. Oh, I hate that person. And when something bad happens to them, maybe it's a politician or whoever, and something bad happens to the most hated politician that you don't like, and you jump on their grave and start pissing on their grave, and you want to have a party on their grave. You want to go and kick them in the face when they're down. You want to go jump on their back and just start pounding on their head as they're down. And that's not the way that you fight. You wait for a guy to get up. Some people can't fight honest fights, though. They're so weak. They have to wait for somebody else to get his ass kicked so they can jump in. I saw a fight like that once in high school. The silly rivalry between 2 students, and they got into a pretty good fight, and it was organized, and we blocked off the hallway. All the students blocked off the hallway so the teachers couldn't get to the 2 guys fighting, and we kept the teachers out. The teachers were struggling to get in. We kept them out and let these 2 students fight. and it was racial, a black kid against a white kid, and the students kind of divided up by race. And as soon as the white kid went down, and even though he was tall, he was a tall kid, much taller than his opponent, the black kid got the best of him. And as soon as that white kid went down, all the black students, all of them, stomped that white kid into the ground. They stomped him. And then the white students were like, oh, fuck no. You gotta let him get up. You can't just do that. So then it became a race war. Like a real race war, right in the hallway. I had to go through this and remind myself, don't kick a guy when he's down. Because sometimes we're tempted to, and we have this idea of karma, and we want to laugh at people and be like, ha ha, you deserve it. This is our little form of revenge, our little mental revenge, to go around damning people, playing God. And I did that, and I regret it, and I caught myself. There's a mechanic around the corner who I used to go to. My brother caught him fucking him over. My brother has a Cadillac, and he screwed him. I'm not going to go into the whole story. The guy screwed him. One of these scenarios of a shady mechanic. It happens. And then he fucked me over too. Lesser, but it happened to me, and I was just like, well, geez, this guy used to be a good guy. You know, sometimes businessmen turn shady. They get desperate. Who knows what goes on in their life? I don't know what he was going through in his personal life. But long story short with that guy, his shop shut down, and he's now currently, as I'm talking right now, he's homeless, and he's living out of an RV that's parked in the driveway. He's got cables hooked up into the wall to get electricity for his RV, and he's living there. The business is shut down, the sign's taken down, the garage is closed, there's no more customers, no more employees, and him and his wife are homeless, and they're living in the driveway of their former business. I guess they got kicked out of their house, they can't pay for rent, they're truly homeless and down and out. And I drive by there all the time because that's just on my route to get out of the neighborhood. He's in the neighborhood. And my first thought when I saw that last week and saw them living there, I saw them pull they have a beat up old Chevy Suburban, and he was putting groceries into the RV like they had just gone to the grocery store. It's very clear that they are living out of that. And I laughed at their misery as if they deserved it. Ha 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 ha! You! This is karma! Fuck you! You know, this was my chance to take my boot and to stomp a kid in the head when he was already down. I've been homeless. I remember when people kind of did that shit to me. Laughing at me. Oh, you think you're so tough? You think you're so great? Look at you now! Look at you now! And some people were really mean to me. Even in my own family. And I found myself doing the same thing to this guy. I didn't confront him, I didn't say anything to him. I wanted to. Pull in and be like, so what are you doing? Hey, you bum, you drunk bum. This is what you get for fucking me and my brother over. You know, this is your karma, bitch. It's not helpful. You're just kicking a guy when he's down. It breaks the old school rule. Let a man get back up. You gotta let a man get back up. Food for thought.